the Dominator V3s from Fatshark. Are they worth the upgrade, or should you select something else? So in this video I'm going to be looking at these Dominator V3s that I just purchased, and we're going to make the decision together, I guess. Is it worth the upgrade over my old Predator V2s? So I haven't opened the box yet, so as we kind of go through the unboxing, I'll talk a little bit about why I decided to go with these Dominator V3s versus another FPV headset. So the first reason is really I'm a big fan of the Fatshark products. So I've had these Predator V2s now for, it's got to be 2.5 to 3 years. These are my first and original Fatshark goggles. I have some other video headsets, some DIY budget ones. They're okay, but I definitely prefer using the Fatsharks for flying with. And I decided I wanted to upgrade my goggles to something a little bit better, and I had lots of deliberation. So we'll talk a little bit about that now. So all of the cameras on all of my quadcopters or drones, depending on what you want to call them, use a 4x3 camera. So this is quite common, well, it's common up until quite recently. And that is the way that the Predator V2s that I use today, how they work. And a couple of the reasons why I bought the Predator V2s was they actually came with a camera and everything that I needed to get started, and I attached those originally to my DJI Phantom FC40 that's up there. So great. I literally have no complaints with those. So here's where it gets a little bit interesting. So I can't remember the field of view. I think it's about 20 degrees field of view on the Predators. These Dominator V3s have a field of view of 30, so increased field of view. So if you're not familiar with what the field of view means, it's basically you have, I guess, more immersion, more concept of what you're seeing through the goggles whilst you're flying FPV, and that's something that's very important, especially if you're doing you know, drone or quadcopter racing. That's important. Just generally flying around, it's good to be able to see more of what's going on. The potential issue with these V3s is Fatshark made the decision to change the screen size to 16:9. So I'm sure all of you watching this are familiar with, you know, the old style TVs were 4x3, and then we went to widescreen. 16:9 was the common kind of screen size. So I deliberated for a while. Should I just stick with these? You know, I'm happy with them. Should I just stick with them? Should I get the Attitude V3s? They have a built-in receiver, and they are still 4x3. I think they have a field of view of around 30 as well. Do I get these ones, the Dominator V3s, or do I kind of spend the top of the range and get the Fatshark HD version 2s, which are also 4x3? So a couple of things. Why has Fatshark decided to bring out a 16:9 goggle? So these have been out about a year, I think, now, maybe a little bit more. And I think the real reason for this, if you speak to Fatshark, is the DJI products are very, very popular. So whether it be, you know, the Phantom 3s, Phantom 4s, the Inspire, and they all use the light bridge technology to enable, you know, the person to display it on their iPad or tablet or whatever it is they're using. And these glasses actually have a HDMI input into them, and these light bridge technology has a HDMI out, so you can basically stream the video direct into these goggles using the HDMI input. And those cameras are recording at 16:9, so it is a perfect fit. So the concern that many people have is if you're flying with a 16:9 screen and using a 4x3 camera, obviously your image is going to be stretched. So from a square into a rectangle, you're losing some height and you're gaining some width, and obviously so it just kind of compresses and squishes it down a little bit. So there's really mixed reviews as to how this works with a 4x3 camera. I've decided to take the risk for two reasons. I really like the Attitude V3. I think they're a great goggle. They have the fan face, and we'll talk a little about that in a bit more detail. They have the fan face. What they didn't have is they don't have a built-in DVR. I have DVRs already, but I really like the idea of having a built-in one. I also think the Attitude V3s, I don't know what it is, they just feel and look a little bit cheaper to me, whereas the V3s and the HD V2s look like a more quality product. And I didn't want to spend the extra £100 odd on the HD V2s for a couple of reasons. One is, I still think it's too expensive, but also they have I believe a 50-degree field of view, and there's lots of people talking about kind of fuzzing in the corners of the screens on there. And the fix for that is to put some diopters in, and basically what that's doing is it's actually decreasing your field of view, so it just kind of makes no sense. And I don't know how official this is, so it's I think we're recording this on the 10th of August 2016, but I think about 2 weeks ago I understand that Fatshark has pulled that product or discontinued that product. So that, to me, that kind of sends a few signals. I didn't want to invest in something that, you know, even the manufacturers decided to pull. And when I spoke to a few retailers about it, they also said they had to return a few because people haven't been happy. So Fatshark Dominator V3s is what I've gone with. So let's open the box and have a little look what we get inside. So all Fatshark products, they do their own quality control testing. You get this little stamp to say when they were tested. So these were 22nd of December 2015. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You get your customary Fatshark stickers in there as well. And then here you have, so let's put this over here. We don't need it anyway. You have this honking case. So if we compare this case to the Predator V2 case, you can see it's quite a lot bigger. And the reason for that is because of this fan-enabled fascia. And the reason for that is they have the fan to blow air through some channels into the goggles around the screens to stop the misting up from happening. So if you've never flown FPV before, you're probably thinking, well, what the hell is the point of that? That just sounds like a crazy idea. Basically, depending on how hot it is or how cold it is or how hot your head is and how humid everything is, your goggles can fog up. So I actually use some anti-fog solution that I've used before with snowboarding goggles. I think you can also use it with swimming goggles as well. So I put that on. That does help a lot. But I'm keen to see how well this fan system works. People say really good things about it. You'll probably notice that, you know, in the box, like I said, we had the quality control badge, the stickers, and this, no manual. Oh no. The manual is actually downloadable online off the internet from the Fatshark page. Lots of people seem to have a big bee in their bonnet about this. Personally, I don't care. I don't think you really need the manual. Most people that are going to be investing in a goggle like this, I would assume they aren't first timers. They have a general rough understanding of how things work here. But like I said, you can download it. So we have a cleaning cloth to clean the screen lenses with, a couple of different thickness foam fascias, so we won't stick those on right now. So obviously if I test these out and they don't work and I need to return them, you don't want to have taken these things apart and stuck everything on there. So we'll check that out. HDMI cable. So as I mentioned before, if you're using one of the DJI products, you have the light bridge, you have the capability of plugging this in from HDMI. So we have some HDMI adapters in here, as well as the charging adapter for your charging unit. Here we have the new size of battery. So another reason why I chose these over the Attitude V2s is, as I mentioned before, I think these look nicer. They have built-in DVR, and they also have a battery that has almost twice the capacity of the older style. So that's really the reason. So let's just crack open this battery and have a look. What's going on here? Another thing I like about this battery, it's kind of, I guess, I don't know if smart battery is the right word, but it has some intelligence on there. So you can hold the button down and you can see how much battery's in there. So 3 out of 4 lights lighting up there. There's also this nice little kind of compartment to store the additional lead in, and that's what you use to plug in to power the fan. So that looks good. I guess the Fatshark phono to jack plug adapter. So you use these for a couple of reasons. One is outputting this signal to another screen or to a DVR. So I've used these in the past with my Fatsharks, basically output to another goggle, so someone can co-pilot or coexist in the FPV experience with me. Always good to have another one of those, and here they are. So these are the goggles. So you can see here on the top is the fan. Different display control adapters. If you ever try this out and you don't think the pitch looks very good, always adjust the display control. There may be contrast issues or something. You want to adjust that. Channel selections. So depending on what receiver you're on, you can move through the different channels. So you can pick up the image. Volume, so if you plug in headphones and your camera has a microphone on, so you can listen to that. So this unit also features head tracking. So I guess this is an important thing I should also mention as a difference between the Attitude V3s. They're about £100 less than these, and they have a built-in receiver, and they also have a built-in 2-axis head tracker. If you're not familiar with the head tracking, that's basically if you have a servo assisted camera, when you look up, down, left and right, if you have the head tracker module, the camera will follow that movement as well. So I'm not really fussed about the head tracker, so that's a no concern to me. There's an additional cap in here for that as well. So yeah, and then also little button here. I think that turns the fan on and off. I think it turns itself off after a preset period of time, if I remember correctly from the manual. And then I think this is the record button to record from the DVR. So obviously this is without the foam attached to the faceplate. So you can just see in here, here is a small micro SD slot to plug the micro SD card in for recording to the DVR, and you can see here these are the channels. Basically, the air is going to flow down to stop the glasses from misting up. So I think these look really good. I'm happy with them. Yeah, so there's a couple of these basically the face plates that you put on them to cover it up. We'll talk about what I'm going to use in that in a moment, and there'll be a separate video for both of those. So basically the receiver goes in this side, the head tracker would go in this side. Yeah, and that's how it does work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in my receiver and get the antennas on and kind of see what that looks like, and then do a very quick test to see my initial thoughts, and then at a later stage we'll have a video that shows the quality of recordings. Another thing that is important, I guess I should mention already, is you actually have the ability to adjust the IPD values. So you can move these two little switches on the bottom to move the screens from either side. So IPD, I'm always going to get it wrong now, it's basically the distance between your pupils. So you should measure those, and then you can adjust these to fit accordingly. I don't know what the ranges are on this, but if I don't know if you can see this very well on the camera. Try and pull these back a little bit. As I move these toggles at the bottom, you can see very carefully that the screens are moving from the inside to the outside. Okay, so let me plug things in and see how it goes. One thing I do like about on most of the latest Fatshark products is they have this little disclaimer or warning on the inside there, basically saying don't leave the screens facing sunlight because you basically will burn them. And that's a good tip, whether it be any type of glasses or goggle you're using, whether it be for FPV or virtual reality. You want to keep those screens point away from the sun when you're not using them, put them back in the case, and then you know you're not going to run into too much problems. So let's check that out and then come back and we'll have a little look to see how things work. Okay, so we're back. I've got my QAV 250 turned on here. I've got a Spironet box in front that you can't see. It's rectangular, just basically to get size for the comparison. We'll cover these in a different video. This is using the Diversity Fatshark receiver module. So I have an 8 dBi panel antenna here and the standard omnidirectional Spironet antenna here. These are both right rotational antennas, so that's important, don't mix right and left. I'll just show you literally, I'll be quiet for a minute and turn this fan on. You cannot hear this fan when it's on. That was the way I plug it in. That fan is now on. It's whisper quiet, you can't hear anything, it's amazing. One thing I have noticed about these, I need to do a little bit of research, and I'll probably leave some comment under here as I'm talking about it. As I mentioned before, these were quality checked in 22nd of December last year, so that's like 8 months ago, which I'm not complaining about. But one thing I know that has changed is the fan setup. So this fan doesn't have a cover on. In the current pictures, and actually the retailer I bought this from, there is a cover over it, which I guess stops you putting your fingers in there or something. So I need to check to see, is that the only thing that I'm missing? Because that's not the end of the world. Or am I best sending these back and getting them looked at? The one thing that I also will clarify in the comments here is I spoke to you about head tracker modules. There's definitely something in this side here, so I need to understand a bit better. Is that a head tracking module? I just didn't realise it came with it, or have I somehow got lucky and I have them? So we'll see. So basically, all I'm going to do here is just a really kind of unscientific quick check. So like I said, we have the box over here, and we've got the Predator V2s that I'm used to flying with. So I'm just going to do some kind of side-to-side comparisons and give my initial kind of feedback. So you get to see me looking like a bit of an idiot, as FPV people do when they try their goggles on. So, as said before, the Predator V2s, I really like them. I think they do have good colour. Everything looks as I would expect it, as I'm used to. That's my transmitter just making a noise. We can turn that off. So yeah, they look really kind of good as I'm used to. So I'm just going to try and swap over quickly to do that comparison. Okay, wow. So initially I would say the colours are definitely brighter. They seem more vibrant. You definitely can tell there is some stretching going on. So the box that I can see is a lot flatter and a lot wider. But it doesn't look odd or awkward. Obviously the big test is really going to be how does it work when flying, but I don't think I'm going to really notice any difference. I've got the onboard display. I can see everything really quite clearly there. Let me just check if let me turn the fan on whilst doing this. Yeah, you can hear the fan really slightly when you've got the goggles on, but nothing you're going to notice. Obviously you really want to check to see how well that works out. So I think my initial thoughts, at least, I'm not disappointed I've purchased these. I will do an updated, I guess an additional video that kind of wraps up my experience once flying, once I get some time to try it out and see how does it feel in the real world. Do I kind of feel like, well, this is terrible, I wish I'd changed. Let me just look in that box again. Yeah, about the right size. yeah, it definitely is stretched. There's no doubt about it. But I don't think it's going to be an issue when flying. So I will report back on that, and also provide an update on whether there's any difference other than that fan protector. So yeah, I think I'm happy. I'm glad that I tried these out. You know, before it's too late to kind of return them. I think let's just disconnect this. So I think if you're, at least my initial thoughts, so again, stay tuned for the next video. If you're considering what you're going to replace your current headset with, perhaps you've got some Predator V2s, some old Attitudes or something, and you're trying to decide what to do, I do think this is a quality product. I think I'm happy with them right now. Like I said, before I stick the foam on everything, I'm going to... That foam really is squashed. I won't be using that one. Yeah, I'm going to fly it. I don't know if I get time in the next couple of days, or it might be a couple of weeks. Just real push for time right now. But yeah, I'll give it a fly. I'll leave another video. But that's basically why I bought these, or why I decided to buy these. Versus some of the more expensive ones, and I don't think I'm going to be disappointed. I think it's good. I'm really interested to see how this diversity setup works. So there are more expensive diversity headset modules on there. What I like about it is the fact that, you know, I can get the additional range with the panel antenna, but then when I'm flying back and flying around me, the Omni antenna is going to work really well. And I just like how small and neat it is. I have one of the 15 dBi patch antennas, as well as a smaller 5 dBi Team Black Sheep patch antenna. I will try out with this and see how it goes. I'll do a separate review of both the antennas and that receiver module. But no, I think I'm impressed. I'll also share some footage from the DVR once I do a test flight as well. So I hope this video is helpful. I guess, you know, a little bit of rambling, but get some rationale as to why I've decided to go with these. And my initial instincts are, you know, these are good. I think they're going to be perfectly fine. I don't feel upset really that I didn't spend like over £100 more on getting the HDV2s, which have now been discontinued anyway. So hope this was helpful. If you like these kind of tech gadgety geek videos, please like, please subscribe, I really appreciate it. Share on social media, and please comment down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.